The following episode of the Royal Grumble podcast was recorded on Tuesday, the 21st of June, shortly before Roman Reigns was suspended. If you want to find out our opinions on Roman Reigns being suspended, you can listen to our surprise entrant on our website, but for now, here's the Royal Grumble as usual.
Hey, listen, fuckhead. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. You can put me on mute. You can turn the goddamn channel for all I care. What the fuck are you doing? And you're listening to us now. So obviously you didn't hit the fucking mute switch tonight, asshole.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Grumble. I am your host, Graeme, and sat beside me, to my right, cashing in for victory, it's Dan. How are we doing, Dan?
Hello, I'm alright.
And to my left, like Seth Rollins, it's begun and done in 2 minutes, it's Daryl.
You're a cunt.
We've only got so many of that word per show. Don't use it up so early.
Well, don't be a cunt.
Speaking of which, should we go straight on to the fact that Jerry Lawler got arrested?
I've been waiting for this.
Are we laughing at this?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I thought it was fucking funny.
we could tell the actual story and then go on to everything that's funny about it. The actual story of it is that Jerry Lawler came back from an indie show and his girlfriend was drunk. Jerry Lawler doesn't drink, and he was upset that his girlfriend has got a drinking problem, apparently. It got a bit violent between the two, where she attacked him, and then the police showed up and arrested them both because he couldn't tell whose story was true. That's the story that Dave Meltzer reported on the Wrestling Observer. However, do you know the name of the indie show he was working on before he got arrested?
No, go on.
Well, the gimmick of the show was it's all in a steel cage, kind of like TNA's Lockdown. So you've got this show, all the matches are in a cage.
Okay.
The show is called Night in the Slammer. And it's even better because the venue where it was had a giant poster that said Night in the Slammer with cop cars on the bottom and a giant picture of Jerry Lawler in the middle. Just him on the poster.
Just Jerry Lawler.
We can also talk about the fact that his girlfriend's like half his age.
Well, I was just trying to find out how old she was.
27.
She's 27, right?
Yeah, 27.
And how old is he?
He's 66.
Back of the net. Right, so I'm just stalking her on Twitter because I was trying to find out how old she was. And it's got a link to her Facebook page, and it's public knowledge, so I don't really feel any issue putting it out there. Her link to her Facebook is Peyton's mommy. I fucking hate that. And anybody else that's got their job as full-time mum, fucking do one. That's my contribution to this.
Excellent. That's your assault on full-time mothers.
Well, no, you can be a full-time mum all you want. Don't put it as your job title. Your job title's unemployed.
Just don't put it on Facebook, full stop, I think.
Yeah.
The first thing I did when I saw it was figure out she was 4-year-old when he was accused of sex with an underage girl in 1993. Which I've been waiting to mention for weeks.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
wait. Shall we put allegedly before everything?
Allegedly.
I did say allegedly.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
you did say
I know you did, but
accused.
I'm just saying from now.
Yeah,
shall we
right.
just say allegedly before everything, just in case we slip and say something that we might get sued for?
Yeah, you did say he was accused,
Yeah.
and nothing ever came
Accused.
of it.
No, he got away with
Something
No.
else?
No,
No,
accused.
he was accused of
Be
it.
very
but
careful.
He wasn't prosecuted for it. That's
There you
what
go.
the word
Wasn't
I'm looking for.
prosecuted, yeah.
Shall we also say that allegedly he put a gun on the table and told her to shoot herself?
God, I know. That's horrible, isn't it? Like, even allegedly, which, if that did happen, allegedly. What?
Do you think he regrets splitting up from Miss Kitty?
He didn't have a choice in it, did he?
Why?
She left him.
For Kizani.
Wait for Kazani.
I'm sure, yeah.
I thought it for some like real estate guy.
Well, no, she's married to Kizani now, or she was. They did an RF video where they got married. Edge turned up to wedding and everything when he were employed.
Oh dear. Like I remember from that story is that
It sounds like bullshit.
yeah, that I can imagine it being on an RF video thing because that's definitely the type of thing they release.
Yeah.
Because she looks kind of young.
What?
In which case, what? Oh, there you
Cat
go.
looks pretty young. That's
Yeah,
why Jerry Lawler were weird.
Uh,
We don't even have to say alleged about that. He likes them a bit younger.
Well.
It's just we have to say allegedly depending on how young they look.
Yeah, what I was going to say to you is, you said, do you think she regrets splitting up with him, considering she's clearly gone far, far down the card now? to Kazani. The one-shot jobber.
Fucking love Kazani.
Kazani nearly got you into trouble once, didn't
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Completely by accident.
Yeah, one of the Highlanders, the one that got caught in TNA. Which one was he?
Robbie,
yeah.
Derek Graham Couch.
So me and Dan went to a wrestling show in Blackpool, and I'll tell you the calibre of people that they had there.
Definitely.
Viscera were meant to be there, but he decided he weren't fucking with Blackpool. Sonny turned up, and Robbie from the Highlanders. And
Robbie, but not Rory. They couldn't afford Rory.
no, they couldn't afford Rory. So they just got
couldn't.
Robbie. It's like me when I do my indie show. I'm just going to have Jey Uso there.
Obviously.
Not Jimmy. It's just Jey. You just need one of them, don't you? he can just tag himself in and out. So Dan's friend was with all wrestlers, so he would not in that way. He's not a ring rat. He's just friends with wrestlers. So he would wanting to talk to some of them after the show. Now we're a bit bored, but all the way through the show and all the way through the day, I was talking in Carney because I'd seen Kizani, and I was doing it just to amuse myself, and I wanted him to his or he is up, so I told him his or he is up. But obviously, because Rory's old school.
Yeah, you can tell he's old school.
Yeah.
Like, the sort of old school that, like, don't go to another company's show because you're on a company's roster. That's sort of old school.
Yeah.
Even if you are mates with Johnny Devine.
Yeah, he was stood behind me apparently, staring daggers through me. Dan could see this, and as a friend, he went, "Stop it." And I thought he were like, "Oh, you're really annoying, stop it." So I carried on. But really, he meant you're going to get your fucking head kicked in by Robbie from Highlanders.
Not even the good Highlander.
I'm just trying to imagine that. I'm just trying to find something because someone's posted some stuff from Hardcore Holly's book, and he gives his opinion on a lot of the wrestlers from around that time. And I think it's Robbie that he says is an absolute prick.
Okay, on that show, they had a women's match, and you know my opinion on women's wrestling. It had one of the women from UK Gladiators with red hair. I can't remember. Jenna Palmer.
Yeah.
And she tried to pin another woman in the match. So the woman that she was trying to pin was laid on her front. She went down to pin her, like laid on top of her, and the referee just looked really puzzled. And she looked at him, and I took it upon myself to tell her that she had to turn her over and stop being a fucking stupid bitch.
You're a dick. But you're also right.
Yeah, I'm a dick, but in that instance, she's a professional and she doesn't know how to beat her opponent.
Could you imagine if that happened on WWE TV? Oh, wait, it did. Because Ariane from Total Divas, was it Cameron was her name in...
Yeah, it was Cameron.
Cameron the Funkadactyl. Did one of them like funny little leg drops on the back of, I think it might have been Alicia Fox, did a funny little leg drop on the back of her neck.
I think it was Naomi, wasn't it?
Was it really?
Yeah, it was after they split up and were feuding with each other.
Oh, right, okay, well, whoever she was having the match with anyway. She did a funny little leg drop on the back of her neck and then turns to the referee, holds the leg on the back of the neck, turns to the referee and goes, "Count it." The referee has to go, "You've got to turn her around, love. You've been doing this for 2 years. That's why you got cut from WrestleMania 29. If you're listening, Ariane, that's why. That's why you got cut from WrestleMania 29, and that's why you got cut now. Naomi's still got a job. Why haven't you?" Actually, she was the one whose favourite match was Melina against Alicia Fox. Returning stars is what I've got down here because apparently WWE have been, with the brand split coming up, which we'll get into in a minute, apparently WWE have been contacting old talent, trying to see if they're interested in coming back in, trying to cut deals with them. I've seen...
Robbie from the Highlanders.
No, I don't think Robbie from the Highlanders is in there. And I don't think Cameron from the Funkadactyls is in there either. So
that's a shame.
Terrible shame. But one of the people who they're apparently interested in, according to him, and he has said this before, so, take it with a good vat's worth of salt, is Kurt Angle.
Fucking Kurt Angle, the guy that's definitely going to gut at UFC. That Kurt Angle. The Kurt Angle that's definitely going to pass a fucking concussion test. Zombie Kurt Angle that's got one leg.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That allegedly, when I say allegedly, I'm making this up, he had to be wheeled to the entranceway to then hobble out to wrestle Zack Sabre Jr.
I don't know about that, but I do know that when he was here in TNA, people literally have meet and greet photos with him in a wheelchair.
Yeah, because he's fucked.
Yeah, he is.
And I fucking love Kurt Angle, and I wish he was healthy to come back, but he's not. He's not passing a test. He might go in Hall of Fame if he's going to come back. But he's not passing a medical.
Yeah, I doubt if he comes back, he's going to be wrestling. I mean, everyone keeps saying that he'd be perfect to team up with American Alpha. He could be like their head coach or something.
They cut him in 2000.
Let me just read my notes. Well, one suggestion was that he said he might want to manage American Alpha. Well done, Dan. You just cut across my next line there.
We don't see your notes beforehand.
Well, you should consider these things. What do you want, Daryl? Tell me.
I was going to say they cut him in 2006 because he didn't want to take a reduced schedule, and then they were afraid that he would.
He didn't want to go to rehab as well, did he?
Well, and they were afraid he was going to do a Benoit.
Well,
before a Benoit.
I think actually they were more afraid that he was going to die in the ring, weren't they?
Yeah. They were afraid he was going to stop living when he was under contract. And now they're going to employ him when he's older and more fucked up.
Well, he did actually, like in this interview, he was the one who said this time. It wasn't just the suggestion, a fan suggestion. He was the one who said he'd be interested in coming in as a role to manage American Alpha. So, for example, if they're having this feud with American Alpha and the Authors of Pain have got Paul Ellering. If you wanted to bring someone to be an equalizer, I'd be all right with that. But you're absolutely right. He's not going to pass any sort of impact test, is he?
No.
He's fucked. He's been fucked for 10 years. 10 fucking years.
I just had like a little thought in my head, like, they could do a thing where Kurt Angle puts Paul Ellering in an ankle lock or something. I was like, no, maybe Paul Ellering isn't up for it. But then I thought Paul Ellering's probably in a lot better shape than Kurt Angle is.
Definitely. Paul Ellering, of the two of them, I know which one I'd be backing to get back in the ring. It's not the former Olympic gold medalist. Who else is it that they've contacted?
So apparently it's Stevie Richards, MVP, and Carlito.
Now, MVP I'm not sure about because he's been rumoured to come back for a few times and it's never materialised. Plus, he's also got that TNA smell on him. So.
And he's also a massive Benoit fan.
Yeah, that's a real problem, isn't it? He's always in interviews like, well, he was quite good at wrestling. So yeah, that's not really the issue people have, mate.
Well, he's not under contract with Lucha Underground now, so...
Yeah, he wasn't under contract with Lucha Underground 2 days after he signed his contract. Because he told everybody he signed his contract.
And he also told people a big spoiler for the next season that's not actually a massive spoiler.
Yeah, that went well.
Yeah, so he went on the MLB radio... not MLB radio, wherever it's...
MLW radio.
Yeah, and he gave a spoiler away for the next season. And that's why he got fired. But then it's not even a huge thing, so...
I can't really see why they bring Stevie Richards back, to be honest. Surely he must be quite fucked as well. Like,
no, he's like a bit of an health freak. He's one of the official DDP yoga trainers.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
He's an official affiliated DDP yoga trainer.
Do you know we're officially endorsed by DDP in a way?
Well, I thought you'd thought this would bring it on. So
yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't know. Come on.
Well, essentially, yeah, we tweeted DDP again this week. We're not desperate. Just telling him that we'd done a show on him and everything, telling him about we'd done a little show, a recap of his WWE career, and I think we were fairly complimentary to him, apart from me criticising the way he dresses. Apart from that, it was, we said it was their fault, not his, and he was all right, and he retweeted us and said, thanks, bro. So I like to think that was me.
Yeah, you're his bro.
Exactly. I wrote the tweet, so yeah. You can be like my bro.
I'm all right.
No, not you.
Could tag it along with a photo I've got somewhere with him. Because I met him at one of the wrestling conventions.
Oh, right. Well, you should have said. Now we've already made the link now.
We've done the DDP show, and at no point did you tell us you'd met him.
Yeah, you kept that till now.
He was a nice guy. Of course he was nice.
We'll edit that in then.
Yeah, he was a nice
guy.
Back.
I want you to go back now.
I paid him $10 for a photo. Of course he was nice.
I want you to go back and edit that into the DDP show and make it seamless. I'm going to listen back to that. And I want it to sound exactly right.
Good luck with that.
All right. Who else did they bring back? Now, your list didn't have Carly. Your list didn't have Carly. Sorry, your list didn't have Shelton Benjamin on it. That was another one I'd read.
I've heard his name mentioned a bit. I can't remember whether he one of the Meltzer guys who Meltzer confirmed, but
I could see them bringing Carlito in if it weren't for the fact that they've just taken his brothers back off telly.
One's his brother, one's his cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I nearly said cousins and then I said brothers. I know we were wrong.
Primo's the brother, Epico's the cousin.
All right. Well, either way, unless they're bringing them in as like a massive faction, I don't think I necessarily see that happening. Plus, Carlito was really lazy.
No, he's a body guy now.
Yeah, that don't matter though.
What do you mean?
It's not about how he looks. He's just really can't be arsed.
No, but he tries now. He goes to gym and everything.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah.
That's
What do you mean?
I
missed
saw
my
him wrestle
point.
on a free show in Preston, and he was actually pretty good on it. Like, he actually put the effort in, which you don't normally expect from him, especially on a free show on a cold. It was a summer's day, but it was outside and it was a bit cold. He did all right on it.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be happy to see him back. I don't feel like I see that happening because their perception of him, much like my perception of him, is that he's lazy and he's not worth dealing with.
I guess all these people are kind of like what they do in the Royal Rumble every year, and they're probably thinking, "Oh, it'd be nice for like nostalgia pop to get a few of these guys in the brand split," and that's got to be what they're aiming for as well, to pad out the rosters a little bit, and kind of how they have Brian Kendrick and Rhino in NXT.
Maybe they could bring back like the Dudley Boys or like Goldust or like K Quick or someone like that.
Fucking love K-Quick.
I love K Quick as well, actually. On a completely actually, no. I can tie this in. Right, I'm gonna make a tenuous link now. Remember how K Quick used to rap his own music to the ring?
I do remember how K-Quick used to rap his own music to the ring.
Excellent. Well, speaking of ring music, apparently WWE are discussing with the UFC, and they want Brock Lesnar to come out at UFC 200 to his WWE music.
Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I can't decide how I feel either.
Because, like, he used to come out to Enter Sandman in UFC, and it was pretty cool. So, I don't know.
I know what you mean, but at the same time, I do have this feeling where I think it'd be mint if that, the sting at the start hits.
Only if Paul Heyman walks down to the octagon with him.
I think the thing with UFC as well, though, is there's very few people in UFC who have like iconic entrances. But I don't think it's that huge of a deal. Like, some people will probably just boo it out of the sake of booing it because it's a wrestling theme. But like, apart from like Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping, people like that, most of them, it's just the music starts and it cuts them, and then it's just the commentators talking over it, and it doesn't matter.
I fucking love Anderson Silva.
Yeah, Anderson Silva has a great entrance that's iconic. Michael Bisping having song 2 is a massive one
Graeme,
as well.
it all goes black.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "It's dark and hell is hot. Ain't no sunshine in this song. Only darkness every day." Then Anderson Silva comes out and kicks fuck out of someone, unless he breaks his leg.
Or unless he fights Michael Bisping.
Yeah, that might happen as well. I used to realize Silva, then he lost.
You're all about the success, aren't you, Daryl?
Yeah, I'm a glory supporter.
That's a glory supporter who also admits to loving the real Double J, Jeff Jarrett and the NWA.
Wrestling's just escapism. We talked about this last week.
How can you be a glory supporter when none of them ever won?
He was a North American heavyweight champion. I'll have you know.
I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Massive news this week, and I think it was brought up a bit on Raw. I didn't see all the way through Raw, but the draft date has been confirmed. It's Tuesday the 19th of July, so it's going to be on SmackDown this time, rather than on the episode of Raw. So it's going to be the first live SmackDown, which is on the 19th of July, which is the SmackDown before Battleground. Now, we'll go into this a bit more after Money in the Bank about what was confirmed on Raw, what's going to happen on Battleground and stuff like that. But that's when the draft date is going to be. Now, they haven't confirmed which GM is going to be which yet. It seems like it's going to be Shane and Stephanie, which we've pretty much accepted.
Yay.
Yeah. And they've had this whole thing of bringing back old GMs and stuff like that. But the draft date is confirmed for the 19th of July. So I wonder how that's going to affect Battleground, considering that the draft is happening beforehand, but all the matches you would assume will be set.
Yeah, well, it'll be the last pay-per-view where they all wrestle each other, won't it? So that'll be the selling point of it.
It'd be a bit like when, I mean, it was a few years back now, but you remember when Edge and Batista had a match? It was the night before CM Punk won the title for the first time, and they had, I can't remember which pay-per-view it was. It might have been like the Bash or something. And it was Edge and Batista, and essentially the upshot of which was it ended up with SmackDown having 2 world titles and Raw having none. So everyone was like, how is this going to get figured out? And sure enough, Monday night, Edge comes out, gets paggered by Batista, CM Punk cashes in and wins the world title back to Raw.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there'll be something like that. But they're still apparently on about 2 world championships.
Yeah. But because I've seen that belt.
Still not seen it.
You just want the belt, don't you?
Yeah, like I really like it.
Yeah, but the belt will be a fleeting moment, and then after a while, you'll just be like, oh, I can't be fought with this.
Well, yeah, but I didn't mind having 2 world champions before.
Just does my head in now. I don't think there's any point.
The only issue I have with it is when somebody that's not really a wrestling fan tries to talk to you and says, "Oh, who's champion?" then you have to, well.
Is Undertaker still in it?
Yeah. Well, it's not the real Undertaker, it's the different one.
Oh, yeah. Well, like the fake Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
What's British Bulldog doing now?
He's dead.
Oh, I don't want to talk about wrestling anymore.
Okay.
Any more for any more?
Yeah, so do you know you're on about the draft?
Yes.
Are we thinking that they might have a different general manager rather than Shane and Stephanie?
What are you getting at, Daryl?
I think I'm hoping somebody might come back and be better than ever. Because he has got the knack for making things better. Face facts, Graeme, your opinions don't matter. He's a maniac and he's going to step on whomever.
Is it Mike Adamley?
It is.
Bloody love Mike Adamley and Brad Maddox.
Well, they are going to bring him back, aren't they? Because they're bringing back every general manager.
Oh, they bring back Mike Adamley. Can you imagine how many different names he'll get wrong now? Half the company isn't even the same people. And he managed to get them wrong at the time. They won't bring back Brad Maddox, though, because didn't he say, like, fuck on the air or something?
No, it was something a lot less harsh than fuck.
He said he swore in front of a live crowd. I know that.
Yeah, it was on a dark match for SmackDown.
Brad Maddox.
Yeah. They're not going to bring back AJ Lee either, are they?
No, I don't think they will, to be honest.
No.
Maybe they could get her back as part of their newfound business relationship with the UFC. Is she going to go into UFC and have a fight with Ronda Rousey?
No.
Is she telling people that she is, though? Because, like, you know, her husband's doing that and he's not going to have a fight.
No, she leaves that to him.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. He's like, AJ, do you want to have a fight? No. But look, it's easy. You don't actually have to have one. You just tell them you're going to have one and then they pay you. It's fucking brilliant. And then you can get a cushy commentator's job, we assume. Well, I assume anyway, because Joe Rogan's on about leaving if the UFC gets sold, so I reckon that's what CM Punk might be angling for.
I won't give him it.
I wouldn't. No. Why would you get him? There's so many other people you can
follow.
When these new buyers come in, they'll be like, why have we got this guy on the contract?
Could you imagine if he got caught? That'd be brilliant. Fucking love it. So, with all that done, we're going to talk about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view after this.
You see your father over there? He's a loser. Happy Father's Day!
Na 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 na. That's just for my own amusement. That's all. We're going to talk about Money in the Bank. What do you think, Daryl?
2 hours, I think. Second half.
No, it was all one piece.
What it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I watched then. I had an half time in mine. I think it went women's match.
About right.
Oh yeah. So, main event matches were good. Money in the Bank match, the title match, the Cena Styles match. That tag match were all right. Because I assume we'll get on to them in a minute.
Yeah,
because we'll probably start from it's the tag match. Did we all see tag match? Did we all like tag match?
Yeah, I thought it was a good opener.
Oh, well, hang on. We've skipped over the pre-show.
Oh yeah, I meant to say this. This is your duty. This
was it?
Yes, it was.
I didn't fucking watch it.
You know, I nearly sent you a message, and I thought, let's see if he does. I'll give him.
No, I'm not fucking with the pre-show when the show's nearly like 4 hours long itself. Fuck that shit.
I'm actually now annoyed with myself that I didn't send you a message just after you'd watched it. Going, by the way, you got to watch the pre-show as well.
So obviously the bit where it went, oh, this happened on pre-show. I saw that.
Right, what happened in the pre-show then, Daryl? Come on.
Goldust and what's his face, R-Truth, beat Breezango, or Febreze, whichever one you want to call them. So they went and turned Sunbed up because Goldust and R-Truth are little scamps. And they came out all made up like they were burnt, which I thought were pretty funny. And then every time they got chopped and shit, they were like screaming.
Yeah, see, I didn't know anything about that. And when they cut to all the announcers to talk about the pre-show and stuff, I thought, oh, I'm going to Lou and stuff. And I came back, and it was just like Tyler Breeze getting chopped with skin hanging off him. I just thought, what the fuck's happening here? I'm really confused by it all.
They spent far too much money on that makeup for the fucking pre-show, didn't they? They didn't make that effort when Kane got unmasked and he was meant to be burnt. They just painted black round his eyes and went, oh, look at his weird hair.
Who actually won between the Lucha Dragons and the Dudleys, do you know?
Yeah, and Sin Cara did a Swanton Bomb and pinned Bubba Ray, I think.
Fucking hell, Sin Cara got the win.
Yeah.
Ain't Bubba Ray happy he went back?
He's fucking delighted, mate. Mind you, to be fair, the alternative is TNA, so even still, even though, I mean, That's like getting pushed, but no one knows you're wrestling anymore, and they all ask you at the airports why you're still retired. You should go back to the wrestling, Bubba. Fucking hell. I am doing the wrestling. Yeah, of course you are, mate. All right.
He met Velvet Sky there. He didn't tell her not to ever wrestle, but he met her.
Yeah, he did the right thing. He went in, got a girl, and left.
He's fucking punching there, isn't he, really?
Oh, he really is. Isn't it? Somebody reckoned that Velvet Sky was coming to NXT.
Fucking hell. Well, she's been wrestling about 10 years, and she hasn't improved a single bit in that time, so I hope she isn't showing up in NXT.
Oh, she's improved.
No, she hasn't improved one bit.
Oh. Have you seen her start of her career and you've seen her now? Oh, she's in Velvet, you've improved.
I think it might be more of a trainer thing, which probably is more of a promo coach, maybe. I think that would work better anyway.
So they've got Velvet Sky teach her how to cut promos.
Could work on their entrances. That's the one thing everyone remembers about her.
Let the pigeons loose.
Pigeons, great. I was trying to say this before, but we did have to talk about the pre-show, which you didn't watch, even though that was your job.
Yeah, so we've done the pre-show, right next.
Have we? The tag titles match was a pretty good opener, I think.
Well, until they fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So, big cast, you want a time run into ring properly. Kofi Kingston, you do your little kick thing, and then fucking Enzo's just like laying on the floor and you don't know what to do.
He did 2 missed kicks within like 2 seconds, didn't he?
You're all professionals, lads.
I think my favourite part was when, was it Gallows and Big E were just sort of staring at each other, both going, and then Big Cass turned up.
Yeah, fucking Enzo's got Carl Anderson on his shoulder, just looking at Gallows, and Gallows is like, "Oh, this is all right." You're just picking him up. Cheers.
Do it like lads, fill your boots.
And then bloody thing is like, he ain't heavy. He's just my brother. And they break out into song.
Did they?
No, that didn't happen.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
It just this match starting with, was it 14 minutes of promos?
Someone's listed Wrestling Observer today.
Yeah, like it was a lot of promo stuff
Again.
and
But yeah, it was a lot of promos, I agree.
Yeah, it
but
was a
they
lot of
specifically
promos.
said 40 minutes.
it was quite good because it's nice seeing the New Day finally like throw a little shade back to the Elite because they've been waiting to do that for a long while, I guess. Because in New Japan, the Elite, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks have been continually calling out New Day. So this on Money in the Bank, they made a little thing talk about how they're the Elite tag team, and then the camera instantly cuts to Anderson and Gallows looking at each other, just like, no.
No, I didn't pick up on that, but
Can we sack him because he said throw some shade? Like that.
I missed that one.
That's a new age colloquialism. We're not cool kids.
I try.
Oh, well,
I'm getting middle aged now, and I need to try.
well, we'll let you off for that one misdemeanor. Consider that a warning.
Wait till the sports car gets bought and stuff.
You're getting middle-aged?
Getting
Old,
there.
How old do you think you're going to die?
Well, apparently 60.
Clearly, he's got plans.
Anything more than 60, it's a nice bonus if I think about it that way.
Fair enough.
This went and took a morbid turn.
Well, if you want to talk about taking a morbid turn, this bloody show took a morbid turn.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. There you go. We're doing it. We're doing it for real life.
Yeah.
Corbin against Ziggler. Jesus fucking Christ. I watched this at work with the volume off, so I didn't even notice until I read later on and went back to watch that the crowd fucking hated this match, and they were right to.
Yeah, we're dog wankers, fuck.
Yeah, there was a bit in the match where they did like a count out spot where Ziggler was fighting to get back in the ring, and he finally does, and the crowd booed it. The match wasn't over.
Yeah, they did, Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, they did.
Why do they think it's a good idea to have a million matches
Oh,
between these two?
I don't even know. Like, who's going? Who's wanting to see these matches? Because someone's made these matches, right? All right, I'm fucking gonna go mad now, right?
Here we go. We'll sit back.
Okay, yeah.
Sit back.
Someone in an office somewhere. I don't care who. I don't care whether it's Vince McMahon, whether it's fucking Pat Patterson, whether it's all the mates, whether it's like Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H. Someone went, yeah, we need another one of these fucking Ziggler against Corbin matches. I didn't need one. I don't care. Fuck off. I don't want to see it ever again. I hope they never meet each other again. I hope they're never in the same building again because they fucking piss me off. They're both shit, right? Corbin's literally got the one asset that he's quite tall and sometimes he looks up from the floor. Fucking brilliant, mate. And he dresses like a biker. What's his gimmick? Does anyone know what his gimmick is?
He's a
What's his
lone
gimmick?
wolf.
He's a lone wolf, right? What's that mean? He's not got any mates,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot of people with no mates, but that doesn't mean there should be a wrestling show, right? Ziggler, meanwhile, his gimmick is literally to steal from other people, right? A couple of weeks ago, he stole Chris Jericho's promo, and I think he expected people to think it was really fucking clever because he did it, right? Oh, he can say armbar, just like Chris Jericho said armbar in WCW. Brilliant, mate. No one's ever fucking thought of that before. Then he's got Billy Gunn's tights. He's got the fucking noodle head. I can't even begin to get onto that. And to top it all off, he clearly thinks he's fucking mint. He's doing the fucking super kick party all the time, but he doesn't get the irony of it like the Young Bucks do, in that they do it to piss people off. Dolph Ziggler does it because he thinks it looks cool and he thinks he's fucking Shawn Michaels. In this match, he stomped like Shawn Michaels. You're not fucking Shawn Michaels. You're not even fucking Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn's better than you, right? Billy Gunn's better than you because at least he did what you're doing first. I fucking hate Dolph Ziggler. I fucking hate Baron Corbin. I'm glad Baron Corbin won this because Dolph Ziggler's even shitter than Baron Corbin, because Baron Corbin at least has the excuse that he's not been on the fucking roster for as long as Dolph Ziggler has, and Baron Corbin theoretically could get better. Dolph Ziggler has had the chance to get better. He's never going to get better. He's fucking shit. I hope they never had a match again, and frankly, if Dolph Ziggler retired tomorrow, I'd cheer.
I'm confused about where he stands on Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin.
I'm just really glad that we didn't have any audio problems in the middle of that, like we've been dealing with all night. So none of that will have to be edited down at all. That was beautiful.
Twice as funny, by the way, Dolph Ziggler tripped over the steps whilst he was doing just a spot. Ha! Because he's so fucking, I've got an idea, I'll do a spot where I run round the steps. He tripped over them, and Baron Corbin had to save him. Baron Corbin, who can't fucking wrestle, had to save Dolph Ziggler, collegiate wrestler. Or even wrestler. All right.
I weren't a fan of this match either.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. I was just kind of like, oh, this ain't on pre-show.
Yeah, I never want to see the match again. I echo that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see it first time. I echo that.
Yeah.
It's dog shit. Like, I don't know what I don't know what I would want to see between them two. Like, I don't know what I would want Dolph Ziggler to do.
Some kind of dive into a furnace, maybe. Maybe they could have a lava drinking competition.
Maybe they'll have a one-off match where it's just Mortal Kombat.
Maybe they could see who can drink the most like caustic acid. like MVP and Matt Hardy had that series of different challenges, like the basketball challenge and the other beer drinking challenge and all this. Should do that, just but with acid. Just lots of acid.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, but we'll be moving on into Sheamus versus Apollo Crews.
Oh.
No, we wouldn't. No, not yet.
Oh no, there was that promo.
No.
That was good.
No, well, there was. It's not. I don't know if it was now. I can't remember the exact running order, but there was that promo between Kevin Owens and the other heels in the match, which I've got to say, he pisses me off sometimes, Kevin Owens, because he has a habit of wrestling like a face or doing face things despite being ostensibly quite a good heel. But this was just funny enough to justify it. My favourite part was when he was stood next to Alberto Del Rio and turned into Jericho saying, right, but Del Rio calls him a perro or whatever, and he's like, right, perro means dog. I know perro means dog because all he fucking says is perro, so I looked at what perro meant. It means dog. That's the only Spanish word I know. It means dog.
Yeah, the promo was good.
Yeah, he's always calling people perros.
I don't like Del Rio though.
No, he's boring. Which is why I find it funny that Kevin Owens took the piss out of him and said, all you do is call people perros.
What I don't like is Jericho getting the stupid idiot line out quite often now.
Yeah, he's trying to make it a bit of a catchphrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the match
just to pick a negative out of that positive moment.
Just when we're actually enjoying something, boom. Now the match after it was Dana Brooke and Charlotte against Becky Lynch and Natalya.
Oh, I thought that. But
Fuck me.
What, all four of them, or?
Right, well,
Yes.
Firstly, Natalya. You don't have the physique to be wearing that attire. Like, I'm just going to put that out there.
oh, this has gone down a weird
no,
road,
no, it
hasn't
ain't. No, I'm into wrestling. No, I'm into wrestling fashion, right? No, and
He is, to be fair.
like when Matt Hardy got fat, we said Matt Hardy got fat. Not on air. We didn't have a podcast then. We weren't as funny as we are now. And I'm not saying Natalya's fat. She's not fat. She's athletic and everything. I don't find her attractive. She's got a massive chin, but that's besides the point. But she's got the tights thing or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Like the brown see-through bit, and you can see her belly jiggling, and that's not a good look for a man or a woman. Don't make it a sexist thing. I'm just saying she needs to up her attire game. Also, don't fucking cry.
It worked well for Roman Reigns.
What?
Crying in the ring. Everyone really got into him after that.
Oh, he's being sarcastic.
yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, when she was crying at the end, I'm like, well, I don't care what happened after. Like, don't fucking cry.
I thought because of how like sudden the finish was that she'd got hurt or something and it cocked up the finish of the match and she was upset about that.
Yeah.
But no, it was just to set up what happened next, which in her defense, that was the best part of the match because those punches looked brutal.
Yeah.
Like that looked really good, but then at the same time it's Natalya turning heel.
Well, I'm interested in this.
Yeah, it's really interesting to have like a blonde heel that's like treating Becky Lynch really badly. That's a brand new idea, I think.
Becky Lynch is the sting of women. Everything she's had.
All her mates turn on her.
All her mates just go, fuck you.
Not quite the Dean Malenko of women where all of his mates are dead.
So is nobody interested? Well, let's just move on. Let's just move on from that.
Sorry, Dean Malenko.
Perry Saturn's alive.
Is he though? Because no one seems to be able to find him.
He turned up, he's got a tattoo on his face and he used to be an heroin addict, but he's fine. Fuck me. Anyway, Money in the Bank, guys. So, is nobody interested in Natalya like being a heel?
No.
Really?
She's done it before.
When?
She did it when she was first coming in with the Heart Foundation.
Yeah, but now she's alone, isn't she?
She's just boring though, isn't she? She's done a lot. She's been heel, she's been face. She's got nothing. She's got nowhere to go. She's not as interesting as some of the other new NXT recruits. And she's going to end up in a sort of like, well, probably a pre-show feud with Becky Lynch, I guess. I'm the most
interested I am in Natalya for fucking ages. She's not as interesting as when she had the farting gimmick, but I'm quite interested now. When she was getting off with Great Khali, she was interesting then as well.
Yeah, I'll give you this much. I can at least see that they're trying to do something different with her, but it's another blonde heel turn on Becky Lynch. How many times can it happen? At what point is she just like, you know what, I don't want any mates anymore. Sorry, I don't want many mates anymore, though. That's Becky Lynch.
All those puns she keeps posting on Twitter, some people are getting annoyed by it, I guess.
Also, I know this is a really minor thing, but when they wrote Charlotte and Dana Brooke's name on the introduction placard, they didn't have space for the E in Dana Brooke's name. So it swiped across, and they'd clearly not figured out the size of the font, so it just looked like a Brooke with no E. Minor, I know, but that's literally how interested I was in this match. That's the one thing that I took from it.
Talking of wrestler fashions, Charlotte Flair's robe's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've literally got fuck all to say about this match, to be honest. Like,
let's move on. Let's move on to another match you've got literally fuck all to say about.
Go on.
Sheamus against Apollo Crews?
Right, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like, actually, what's the point in this?
You know my problem with it? Apart from like the finish.
Is it that you're really racist and that you don't like Apollo Crews?
No, I really like Apollo Crews. But it seems weird having him play like Fear. Fuck's sake.
You're just fucking up the show.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think we're taking turns, aren't we? Just fucking up the show.
But yeah, what's the point in having him being the babyface in peril? The guy's fucking huge. It's not like he's like skinny as Jamie Vardy or anything like that. He's a built fucking big dude. And they've got him being the babyface in peril all the time.
He's a bit of a midget though, isn't he?
I mean, he's short, but he's not that short, and he's built to fuck. And he looks like if he were to uppercut you, your head would go flying into the stands.
Yeah, but his smile when he does it.
Yeah, that'd make it more sinister, if anything. But yeah, they've got him playing like the whole babyface thing and just being like white meat babyface. You're like, this guy's
what meat?
Don't be that guy, Daryl. Don't be that guy. I know you're tempted. Don't be that guy.
But yeah, like it seems weird him like selling so much and stuff when he's such a big guy, and you think, well, you could probably rip his head off. Just do that.
Yeah, and I don't get this feud at all. I really don't, and I don't really have the problem with him being in a face and getting beat up a bit, like or whatever.
Well, that's the other thing about Sheamus is supposed to be a bully and he's picking on the new guys, but he picked on the biggest built new guy at the babyface side. Like he didn't go and pick on Enzo Amore.
Well, no, because he's got a massive mate, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's
instead,
7 foot tall. And you can't teach that.
He picked on the fucking huge built black dude, and then he's
I
like,
thought he might be a racist.
Well, Sheamus is as white can go,
Exactly.
ain't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his entrance.
Have we all just agreed that Sheamus is a racist? I'm not sure we're allowed to do it. Sheamus is not a racist.
Allegedly, Sheamus is a racist.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, allegedly Sheamus is a racist.
Oh dear.
I hear you're a racist now, Sheamus. Will it be taking up a lot of your time? Is that racist?
I don't know, but Sheamus is incredibly white, isn't he?
He's basically translucent.
But when they shine that white spotlight on him, like it was just all white.
You can't see him.
You can see his bones.
Yeah, it's like a newborn fish.
Like a newborn fish. I think that's the best review of Sheamus I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's all I've got to say about this match. Because again, it was like, meh.
One thing I did like, and I'll say this much again, it's one thing that I've brought up when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have had matches, is that when Apollo Crews came straight into the ring, the first thing Sheamus did, rather than like lock up with him he just smacked him in the face.
Yeah.
So the problem with the match, just for me, was it was a boring Raw match, wasn't it? You'd have seen that on Raw. There's no
Probably
reason
have done it on Raw.
They probably have. There's no reason to have it on the pay-per-view.
No.
That's the thing with Sheamus, because he's such like a big guy and everything. You'd expect him as well to have like an upper gear for like pay-per-view matches, but he never does. He just has like kind of like Randy Orton, where he just has that match.
Yeah.
Like he has that gear and that's it.
Yeah, like I say, no reason to have it on the pay-per-view at all, really. One match that did belong on a pay-per-view, belonged on, could have been a WrestleMania main event. This is where we get into the old could have been a WrestleMania main event territory.
Yeah, which were a bit annoying, weren't it?
It was a bit annoying. I get why they said it, but it was a bit annoying. But this match, genuinely, I was really looking forward to, and I do not think it disappointed. This was AJ Styles against John Cena. Straight one-on-one match. A match that I said this last week, I probably want to see for about 10 years. Just because it's an interesting this is going to sound real, like I've set it up. I haven't set this up. You know what I'm going to say? It's an interesting clash of styles. I actually didn't mean to set that up. But it is nonetheless something of a dream match. And that played into the match a bit, really, didn't it?
Yeah. There was a lot of reversals and stuff, which I thought were good because if you think about it, they've both been wrestling at a similar level for 10 years.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
they were saying 15, but it's not 15, is it?
Actually, 10 years ago this month, the front cover of Pro Wrestling Illustrated was John Cena on one side, AJ Styles on the other, advertising the fact TNA had got this new TV deal and everything.
So yeah,
it's like it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah,
that's actually really interesting.
So like you'd think that if it was like legit, they'd know each other very, very well and have counters for each other's moves just because they've both scouted each other. They're new to each other in the sense they've never wrestled, but they're both big stars. They're both very aware of each other. So I quite like that they were countering each other's stuff.
The thing I really liked was AJ Styles countered like every signature spot of John Cena's, which you're waiting for someone to do because John Cena's been wrestling so long. You think people would see his stuff coming, and AJ Styles actually countered every single like major spot he had. So Cena had to work out new ways to get into like the STF and things like that, which was really interesting to see.
It was logical as well. That's the important thing. Like, there's no getting around the fact that AJ Styles is a smaller guy than John Cena, but he said beforehand, the way I'm going to beat you is I'm a better wrestler than you. I'm going to out wrestle. And we've seen people do that before, but the way they told it in the match was very different. Like, many people have come across and said, "Oh, I'm going to out wrestle you, John Cena. You can't wrestle, blah blah blah," and then they just fall for the same spots over and over.
Is your favourite one the fall for when they throw a punch? And Cena ducks and does that gut wrench powerbomb.
Yeah, mate, that's my absolute favourite. Definitely the best thing to do after a shoulder block. She's like, well, best get up and swing a haymaker. Never uses a haymaker for the rest of the match, but they do it for that one match. And actually, in this match, he didn't, which I liked. Cena actually set up the spinning, like, proto bomb or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that powerbomb thing.
Spinning powerbomb thing himself. After the first attitude adjustment, I thought Cena was going to win. It was one of those things.
I'm always on edge when that happens, though, because they could always end it with the first attitude adjustment, couldn't they?
Well, I did think he was probably going to kick out, but it was after that I thought, oh, he'll probably still win, though, because this will be one of these things that, oh, well, we can say we put him over by he kicked out the attitude adjustment, but nowadays it's a bit like, remember when Kurt Angle started letting everyone kick out of all of his moves? It's become a little bit like that, hasn't it? Yeah. With the attitude adjustment. The first one almost never gets it done now unless it's someone like really low down.
AJ Styles countered to one of the attitude adjustments when he set him up and he managed to roll through.
Oh, the calf crusher. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
That was amazing.
Phenomenal. Like,
was it?
Oh, God, I've done it again, haven't I? It was, okay, that was very good at wrestling. It was really cool. I really liked that.
Tell you, I don't know whether you two noticed this, but did Cena look a lot slower than he was before he got injured? Just he felt a bit like it seemed like it took him a while to get going.
I
Like,
don't
at
know.
first,
He's
he
just
seemed
a
like-
very awkward person, so I don't
Yeah,
really know.
he just seemed a bit like it looks like he's put on a bit more muscle mass again, and he's actually got a bit slower because of it. Because all his moves look like quite clunky, like kind of like how Scott Steiner looked towards like his WWE run, where because he's so muscle bound, his movements look like quite slow and awkward.
I mean, we're not insinuating that John Cena uses the same products as Scott Steiner, are we?
No,
No.
Scott Steiner doesn't use any products, mate.
no.
I mean, if we were insinuating that, we would say allegedly, wouldn't
Of course we
Yeah.
would. But
Yeah, I'm,
Scott
I'm
Steiner,
just confirming.
neither of them do. Scott Steiner said as much.
He's a genetic freak, isn't he, Scott
Yeah,
Steiner?
exactly. I believe Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
You implying that Scott Steiner would lie?
I'm not.
You better not, because he'll come to your house.
You don't know where I live.
No, but
It's fine.
make sure to put his picture on the wall anyway, just in case. Just in case security have to take him out. I like that they used the, the sort of jumping leg drop that Cena often does onto the back of the neck,
Yeah.
and they played into his history as well when Styles countered it into the power bomb, because obviously that's the move that Batista broke his neck with, isn't it? A few years back.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. Well, I remembered it because I'm
Okay.
a massive nerd. It was anyway. When
Okay.
but you remember when he broke his neck against Batista at SummerSlam one year?
I remember when he broke his neck.
Yeah. Well,
Because he had this surgery and then he turned up the next day or something. He just had like a little plaster on his neck.
of course he did. Yeah. The way they sold it was that was the move that broke the neck in the Batista match. So it was interesting to see AJ Styles not only have another counter but also use the move that actually injured him beforehand. One thing that's really pestering me, I know I keep bringing it up every time we have an AJ Styles match. Nobody buys the Styles Clash as a finish anymore.
Yeah.
It's done as a finish. I think it will still. I mean, don't get me wrong. It probably still work in the same way as the attitude adjustment for like lower level guys. But first Styles Clash it was ruined the first time that Chris Jericho kicked out of it for me.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it can be such an impactful move because it's so different to a lot of other moves in that it's a grapple move, but it's not typical to what you see. You don't usually see such a small guy using such a physical move. Like, if you think of a move where you'd have one guy crushing the other one, it's usually like a big guy doing a power bomb or choke slam or anything else like that. But it's sort of quite a physical grapple move that uses his body, but he's relatively small. I think it's just a very unique looking move that it's a shame that, especially considering in Japan, it's pretty much death now, isn't it? Like, I think, did one person kick out? Was it Okada?
Yeah, I think Okada did.
Okada kicked out once. That's literally from the start to the end of his run in Japan. One person kicked out. Three have kicked out already so far.
Can I
in WWE.
just ask, did John Cena break his neck from the Stars Clash?
What, this time? No.
Oh,
no.
God.
No, the
Yeah.
Stars Clash, he didn't break his neck, did he?
No.
No, I'm just asking, that's all.
Yeah,
'cause
interesting that.
Yeah.
Wait, did he know how to take it though?
I think he might have
Do you
done.
think he might have watched videos and seen every single one that he's done and gone, oh, well, I know what to do?
Yeah, and
Corey Graves watching, going, good one, mate.
Jeez, I've not even thought about Corbin, guys. I don't think we're talking about him, were we? Don't know who we're talking about, though. No idea. Michael Cole called a 450 splash a shooting star. Just
if we're getting onto dodgy calls, just while I remember, Michael Cole called a Dirty Deeds on Raw a pedigree. Just FYI.
Fucking hell. He just says shit out loud, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Speaks out. And then the only problem with the match, and I'm annoyed at myself for being annoyed about it, because shortly after it, JBL took on this view and it just pissed me off. But the ref bump and the Clash getting it,
Completely with you.
the club getting involved.
I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
See, I think it ruined a good match.
Yeah.
I
felt
get
that
why
way.
they did it, because in terms of the story, it's better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we'll have another match down the road, and that's fine. It just frustrated me at the time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
AJ Styles won, so I didn't give a fuck.
They did really put the Magic Killer over, by the way, on the
Yeah.
show, because we failed to mention that the first match, the Magic Killer got hit on Aiden English,
Yeah.
and the New Day pinned him. We never actually mentioned that New Day won the first
Oh,
match.
no, because we were just bothered about all the botches at the end.
Yeah, we really were. But they pinned him after the Gallows and Anderson Magic Killer, and this match again ended with the Magic Killer being the finish. So they're really putting that over as a heavy tag team move, and that could be really beneficial for Gallows and Anderson you think about something like the Dudley Boys in the 3D, it's a massive deal to have a tag team move that no one kicks out of. So that could really help them going forward. Even though I know it was a bit of a sort of screw job finish or whatever. Oh, and JBL's just a cack heel, isn't he? He's only a heel because he's annoying. He just pisses me off.
Do you remember when everybody thought he was good?
He was good. You say this, and we've had this discussion many times. He was good, and now he's shit.
You realise people liked him more if you referenced Paddy Power on a pay-per-view and stuff like that.
It's just, I swear.
When they had the Portuguese announcers, when they showed all the announcers, he said to Michael Cole, because Michael Cole was going, now we're going to Portugal, now we're going to Japan. He said to Michael, why didn't you ask him about the penalty kick by Ronaldo?
Yeah, did you know JBL watches sports? Because he never fucking mentions it.
But there was a funny sign on Raw, and all it said was, Roman Reigns likes soccer. And I imagine that's a massive fucking insult in America.
That's actually brilliant. Second best sign of the year. Oh no, that was last year. Never mind. No, best sign of this year.
Best sign of the year, mate.
Yeah, not best sign of the 365 days, but
no,
best sign of this calendar year. Money in the Bank match.
Wait, we've skipped where they go to the panel. And I just want to bring this up.
Yeah, I think there might be a reason for that, but go on.
Right, so firstly is wrestler fashions. Corey Grave, what the fuck is that on your head?
Yeah.
His hair.
Fedora.
No, it's his fucking hat.
Or was he wearing a fedora? Fucking hell.
Right. Second thing, Lita. Right. Oh my god, the false finishes in that match was amazing. What?
Shit,
Beg your pardon? Beg your pardon, what?
No, she said that later. No,
Was that not then?
that was after the Money in the Bank match, because I wrote that down as well. Also, Booker T seems drunk. Did you not think? He did that whole thing where he put his hand in front of his face and went, oh, 5, but they cut away from him before he'd spread his fingers, so it just looked like he was putting his hand in front of the face and royal waving. Yeah, Lita did say false finish. That was really embarrassing. Can we talk about the Money in the Bank match now?
If you want, I'll let you.
Do you reckon it was one word answer? Do you reckon it was better than any of the ones we talked about last week?
No.
No.
Fair enough. That's my opinion too. I was just interested to see.
You want to know what was annoying for me about this?
Yes.
I mentioned to you guys beforehand, because we get notifications on our email from like YouTube subscriptions, and the word
Subscribe on YouTube.
on the email, I saw the pay-per-view later, and I was avoiding spoilers all day, and I saw the word Dean before I deleted this email. And then on the intro for the show, the promos, it was all the Money in the Bank people, and the intro for the show finished with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins saying, I'm going to beat you, and then the last word on the thing was Dean Ambrose saying, or maybe I'll cash in and beat you. And then on the intro for the Money in the Bank match, Dean Ambrose looking up at the briefcase was the last thing you saw. And then Dean Ambrose was the last one to come out, and at that moment I decided exactly what was going to happen on the show.
I think technically you decided this last week, because much as I hate to...
and I did. I called it last week.
Yeah, much as I hate to give you credit, even though I told you not to say anything, you did call it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention it because he elaborated and you're not allowed to elaborate.
Yeah, no, he wasn't supposed to elaborate, was he? So actually the points go to you, Daryl, by default. There you go.
But yeah,
Daryl
so
wins.
as soon as he was the
1-0.
last person on the Money in the Bank one as
1-0.
well, I turned around and just was like, oh, Dean Ambrose is winning this, and he's probably going to cash in tonight.
But sometimes, I'll defend them in this one, sometimes they build up stuff like that to throw you off.
Yeah.
So they're going for something else. Clearly they didn't, but sometimes that's all right. The double haluva kick was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sami Zayn was also the first guy to try and get the briefcase, which was about 5 or 10 minutes into the match, actually. I can't decide if I'm annoyed about that or if I was quite pleased about it, because on one level you could say, well, at least they were trying to wear people down before they went for it, and I do hate it when they all just get ladders and they all climb off. It's like, what's the point? Why are you doing that?
You know what was great about this? The commentators actually told a story on commentary rather than just talking about what was happening. They actually brought up the fact...
They told a story, Maggle!
Yeah, they actually mentioned the fact that there's no point going straight for a ladder and going for the briefcase because everyone's still like fresh and healthy. You need to beat them down first before you go for a ladder, because otherwise you're just going to get thrown off, and getting thrown off the ladder is way worse than trying to go for it anyway. So they actually made sense of the fact that not everyone was just jumping for the ladder straight away, which...
No, you should go for a ladder straight away. Have you ever played the SmackDown games?
Yeah.
You pick the ladder, smash your opponent to fucking shit, and just put the ladder in the middle of the ring, climb up and win it.
Oh.
Are you going to do that when you're in the Money in the Bank ladder match?
I'm not going to enter it, mate.
You've done what you need to do in your
Yeah.
career.
I'll
Yeah.
already be champ.
I'm going to be in Hall of Fame already.
1PW Hall of Fame.
I do not owe you money.
uh,
Talking of money, we should monetize that somehow.
yeah, we should find. Yeah, maybe you could put it in like BMP font and put it on a t-shirt. Alberto Del Rio went around doing little like weird ladder stomps. I didn't like the one on the turnbuckle where, although at least Cesaro got to like rest his back on it instead of having to pull himself up, which he does for that fucking stupid double stomp he does every fucking week.
There was the bit at the end as well where Alberto and Cesaro, I think, got knocked off the ladder into the rope, and I guess they're both supposed to crotch themselves or something, but Alberto Del Rio just slammed.
Yeah.
It looked really bad.
Well, he did also, one thing I did quite like was he got on the ladder in the middle of the ring and then just did a bit of a stomp down onto Chris Jericho's head, which was actually quite funny.
Yeah, I support that one. I think the best spot of the match for me was the Sami Zayn Blue Thunder Bomb onto the ladder that was laid on it, like on its edge.
I know it was a Michinoku driver.
Michinoku driver
That was
onto Kevin
horrific.
Owens.
You know what? I disagree with you,
Oh.
and I disagree with you because that was horrific. That should have been taking Kevin Owens out of the match, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So that's not that it wasn't cool, but he got up 10 minutes later. It's like, well, what? In fact, 2 minutes later, it's like, well, why did you do it in the first place? My favourite spot in the match was Jericho going for the code breaker and Cesaro counting it into a giant swing.
That was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty funny. I quite liked that. The big six-man spot was stupid. You know, when there were two of them like punching on the ladders, but also like trying not to fall off the ladder bridges, and then two of them trying to get the briefcase. If you can see two people trying to get the briefcase, why are you punching someone else on the ladder?
The best part is they clearly thought people like there's so much going on that we can get away with something here. So I think it's Dean Ambrose isn't even like trying to throw punches. He's just kind of like waving his arm really loosely.
He's essentially just doing enough to not fall off the ladder bridge.
Yeah. It was pretty like it was a spot I was like, oh, this looks like it could be interesting, and then you see how silly it's got all of a sudden. You're just like, yeah.
There was also a really big following for Del Rio, by the way. But then I guess that's because it's Vegas. So I think there's quite a high Hispanic population in California in general.
Yeah,
Although
apparently there's a
Vegas
lot
is in Nevada. I just found that out.
Sorry, yeah, apparently there was a lot of Hispanic people in the crowd, and they were cheering on Alberto Del Rio.
Makes sense. I didn't really want Ambrose to win at this point. I'm all right with it now, but at that point I was a bit like, I don't think I really wanted him to win. So
Who did you want to win?
I think I know it's sentimental. I just wanted Sami Zayn to do it.
Yeah.
I want him to succeed.
I think with Dean Ambrose as well is the fact that he's just been the shit. He's been shit for ages. WWE's booked him like absolute shite. They've just thrown shit at him continuously, and this just felt like his napkin to wipe off all the shit. Just the one napkin. Try and get as much off of it as possible.
Quite a
You've got
big one.
work to do later. So yeah, it felt like that. 'Cause, like, look at the Brock Lesnar thing. Like, he just got battered in that feud, and
Pagged.
Bray Wyatt battered him, and
Pagged.
everyone's battered him.
Yeah,
I got-
but the Brock Lesnar thing, especially the actual match, we've later found out that
Yeah, we know why now, don't we?
that Brock renegotiated his contract and he was going to fight for UFC.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to get injured in this little pretend fight with chairs when I'm going to go and fight in UFC against the big fucking Samoan bastard. And they're going to play my theme music. Yeah, who did you want to win, by the way, Daryl? I never asked you.
Well, I said Kevin Owens last week.
Ah, yeah, that's right. I didn't know. I meant who did, like,
Um,
I know that's who you
I
thought.
wouldn't-
Or were you wanted him to win as well?
I did kind of want him to win, but I just didn't really want Del Rio to win. I didn't think he would anyway. But everybody else had been fine with, like, even Jericho, even though it does annoy me a bit, I wouldn't have minded Jericho winning.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded any of them winning, really, other than Del Rio.
Fair enough. It was at this point that they did the panel bit, by the way, with Drunk
Was it?
T
Right,
and
okay.
Lita saying false finish. Well done, Lita. Really glad to have you back.
Yeah, protect the business. I mean, I know we're doing a podcast that exposes the business, but you're on the air.
You're employed. They pay you money. Corey Graves did another quick, like, it wasn't the same magnitude as he did at NXT, but she said something. It might even have been when she said false finish, and he did a bit of a sort of face palm, which is pretty funny. Then it's my boy Titus. He lost.
This was brilliant.
I literally have a note here, and I want to read this out. Dan will wank himself over Rusev.
Yes,
Wank
it was
yourself over
amazing.
Rusev. Go on.
It was so good just to see Rusev just batter him, and then the whole post-match thing was the funniest thing. Just him going over to Titus's kids on Father's
Fucking
Day.
knew he'd be like this. You know?
Yeah, it was amazing. Just him going, like, your father's a loser. Happy Father's Day. It was just amazing.
I knew it. I fucking knew he'd love that. I was sitting there. It's like that. It's like that time that Jack Swagger was on Raw a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I knew fucking Daryl would love that. So too, when Rusev did this, I was like, oh, Dan must be.
He's just brilliant. I wish they had something better for him to do. But he's making the most of these little things. He's
Are you
great.
saying that continuing a feud with Titus isn't the best thing to do?
No, definitely not.
Titus not only is my boy, he's the best dad of the year. So
He's the celebrity mega dad of the year.
celebrity
How
mega
about,
dad,
you know?
exactly, even better. So what have we done?
Oh, after the match, Rusev also tweeted he should have won the Loser of the Year award. His kids have disowned him. They now call him Titus, not Dad. Which is just brilliantly brutal again.
I think it's pronounced Titus, just to really take the piss out of him.
You think Lana calls Rusev daddy?
Yes,
Yeah, probably.
but whatever daddy is in, like Russian.
I don't
or
like that
Bulgarian.
I don't like that she's still dressing like she's, been corrupted by Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, I like how she's
Oh,
dressing.
She's dressed like she's been Zigglerfied. No,
Yeah, like
no, she's not quite that bad because she's not got that fucking cut off jean jacket.
that was pretty bad.
Yeah, like maybe she could get a patch on it that says Megadeth spelt wrong. Dolph Ziggler's so into metal. He's such a fucking fake bastard. Oh,
Do you not like
WWE
Dolph Ziggler?
We need another 5 minutes. on
WWE
this.
title match started at 5 to 4 in the morning.
Did it? I went
Yeah.
watching live, so I didn't give a fuck.
Neither was I, but I
Yeah.
was like, if I'd been watching this, I'd have been like, fucking hell. It'd been just as bad as WrestleMania. Well, okay, not just as bad, but still, I've been really pissed off. I was just like, my thought was just, why is everything so sodding long?
It's because this is like WrestleMania. This could have main evented WrestleMania.
But is it though? It's not though, is it?
Money in the Bank. It's the best Money in the Bank ever.
Oh no. Well, I fell asleep after the first. Oh no, I fell asleep at one point, and this is I didn't watch it live either. This is literally like during the afternoon. I fell asleep until I think I fell asleep until just before the first Superman punch. I mean, I'm sure it was a perfectly good match. I'm
Yeah,
not actually saying it was bad.
pretty good.
I'd been watching it for that long at this point. I was just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. I was just surprised that Roman Reigns lost clean.
I loved it. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That actually woke me up.
The
Very
counter from the spear into the pedigree was fucking brilliant.
That was a really good spot. I really liked that. What I don't like is that Seth's still doing that fucking turnbuckle powerbomb.
Why?
Because it's stupid. It looked stupid and it injured him. It literally injured him and he had to spend 9 months out, but he's still doing it.
Sting's been out nearly as long, not longer.
There you go. It fucking ended Sting's career. Now, admittedly, Sting shouldn't have been taking that bump. That was Sting's fault for saying, yeah, I'll take 2 of them. Why not?
So are you saying that every move that injures someone you shouldn't do?
I'm not, but I'm saying that any move that looks stupid, like I think that one does, like why would you powerbomb someone into a turnbuckle?
Because it'll fucking wreck.
In which case, why isn't it the finish of the match?
Why is it any
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it
What
could
about
be
that, Daryl?
worse.
Why ain't Undertaker's tombstone automatically a finish?
It is.
It's not.
It is.
People kick out of it.
Yeah, but that's because they're hard.
Oh, okay then.
See, my problem with
Roman
it
Reigns
is
is
that
hard, obviously.
Is he?
Yeah,
Is he?
clearly.
I'd
He's-
fight him.
He's
Roman,
the guy.
challenging you, mate. Bring it on.
You don't listen to this shit.
Yeah, he pegged me.
well, like, the turnbuckles are padded.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
the
Yeah,
turnbuckles are
yeah.
padded.
Take that,
I mean,
Daryl,
it's
with
not
your
fair
fucking
'cause
logic.
People do it in New Japan, and they have those big, like, fucking boxing pads on it. So it's definitely not doing anything there. So I kind
Well,
of
it did break Sting's neck.
Yeah,
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's a high risk move that he doesn't use as his finish. It can hurt him. It can hurt them. It's literally injured 2 people, one of which was him. It doesn't add anything to the match. There's no point. I wish he'd stop doing it because aside from anything else as well, he's not a big guy. He's tall, but he's not a big guy who should be doing power bombs. If you get my drift.
AJ Styles did a powerbomb, didn't he?
Yeah, but he did a powerbomb as a counter, and it's sort of desperation type.
Yeah, but this
thing.
was a counter because he did a sunset flip over him.
Yeah, but then he runs across the fucking ring with him.
It's still a counter.
It's not a counter.
It is a
It's
counter.
not
he'll
a
have the
counter.
momentum
Is it?
though.
It's not a
Yeah,
counter.
yeah, exactly. He'll have
No, he didn't have the. If he had the momentum, he'd fall down.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
And he does CrossFit and shit.
It's a
so he's not
stupid
strong.
spot. I don't like it.
It's
Also,
my
they did
favourite
that-
move that he
Speaking of
does.
stupid spots, they did that fucking stupid spot into the barricades again. With the spear.
Right, that can fuck off.
Oh, but Daryl, it's really good. Yeah. How do you like it, dickhead?
You just said it's stupid.
I know
maybe
it's stupid.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Do you hate the barricade spot?
I don't mind it. It led to finish.
Yeah, but
No. I'm not asking
no.
you. Said I don't mind it led to the finish. I'm asking you as a sole spot. Do you like the barricade spot where somebody runs into the barricade and either they get speared through it or somebody moves and then they spear themselves through the barricade?
It's a bit overdone, but I don't mind it.
My problem is it's diminishing returns. At some point, like when you see it, maybe once a year, maybe not even as often as that, it's like, holy shit. But when you see it all the fucking time, you're like, well, it's fake then, isn't it?
Yeah, like, can you imagine?
It breaks your suspension of disbelief.
Do you know that spot where I think Brock Lesnar suplexed Big Show off the top rope and the ring broke?
Yeah.
Right? That looked fucking mint, didn't it?
Yep.
Stunt.
Yep.
I know you're fucking...
Well, no
thinking
way,
it's not
that's
right.
not real.
But,
even though Big Show tried to tell people it was real for years.
But there's a spot where Undertaker returns and I think Kurt Angle's in the ring and the ring breaks.
Yep, he did, yeah.
It breaks in exactly the same way.
Yep.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, the other one was a stunt then. So think how many times that same barricade has gone through. I think, well, it's gimmicked.
Exactly.
It's not real.
When you do it that often, it's like I say, it's diminishing returns. It just ruins the effect of it.
And the ring breaking only happened once again. They've not done it like a million times.
Yeah, they did it once at, I think it was Battleground, funnily enough. No,
Mark
Vengeance.
Henry?
Mark Henry and Big Show at Vengeance. Because I was tweeting Mark Henry whilst it happened. I was quite drunk that night watching the pay-per-view and I was tweeting Mark Henry saying, mate, ring broke. That's all I said to him. I don't even know. I hope he read it and was just like, who the fuck is this idiot? Pedigree spot, yeah, the pedigree spot was good. We did have our second ref bump of the show.
Yeah, that was a bit.
I know, like, that was a massive thing in the Attitude Era or whatever, and they happened all the time. It was just a bit annoying to see in two separate matches. So,
I went that arse.
I know you weren't, but I was. That's what matters. Seth wins!
Yeah, I was happy that he got the win
Clean.
because yeah,
At that point, I was like, is Ambrose going to come out? And then Ambrose's music played, and I thought, is he actually going to come out? And then they focused right up on Seth, at which point you were a bit like, right, something's going on here. And sure enough, he came from behind, not in that way, and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
so on production wise, they did such a good job with a lot of this. Like first off, doing that, it's a nice callback to how Seth like betrayed Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in the first place. But then the shots from the end where Seth Rollins is there, like upset that he's lost the title, and Dean Ambrose celebrating, they are pretty much spot on from last year's Money in the Bank, where Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were in the main event, and Seth Rollins was walking off with the title, and Dean Ambrose was on the mat, like upset. And they actually got a lot of the shots kind of spot on, and that was a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased for Dean Ambrose. Like, there's been a couple of times where he's finished the match looking like the champion. He beat Seth once with a second ref spot that they cancelled out, and then he nicked the belt another time.
Yeah.
And both of those times, the crowd really took to him. And even despite all the damage that's been done to his character, hopefully this can rejuvenate him. I'm pleased that he's the champion.
Yeah, I'm pleased for him.
You've got the weird thing as well where now Roman Reigns has never beat Seth Rollins.
Yep.
Dean Ambrose has never beat Roman Reigns. So then you've got like this thing, but then Dean Ambrose has never beat Seth Rollins until now. But now the idea is Dean Ambrose could beat Seth Rollins could beat Roman Reigns could beat Dean Ambrose.
And the three-way is on.
Yep.
It quite literally is on, by the way. It's not even just, oh, well, this is where they're going to lead to. No, they're just doing it at Battleground. Because, fuck SummerSlam, we're just doing it now.
I've got 5 weeks to wait.
I don't think I've got a problem with it as much. You know, I'm not arsed in the same way that if it was WrestleMania and they did it at No Way Out, I'd be pissed off. But it's still just a bit frustrating, isn't it, that they're not waiting until the biggest event to do.
Apparently it's because SummerSlam is going to be used to introduce a second belt. So that'll be the focus. Yeah.
Can't be fought with a second belt. I really can't be fucked with it.
I can't wait to do a podcast where we've got two belts.
Oh, God.
Because
That's because you'll have...
Dolph Ziggler's going to have one.
And the fact that
you'll have a toy of both belts on each shoulder.
Yeah, I
that's
can't
why.
wait.
And we're going to have to start paying attention to SmackDown.
I'll be paying attention. I'm looking forward to it.
Like I said last week, I'm going to watch the first few weeks probably, and then hopefully I won't grow bored.
One really good news about the whole Dean Ambrose cash-in is that we don't have to deal with a fucking briefcase all year.
Yep.
Because that does get annoying sometimes.
Don't you like it?
I am ambivalent to it because they sort of overused it a bit.
I
When
quite
Sheamus had it all last year.
I think it's
just pissed me
Kayfabe News actually put an article up which was like Dean Ambrose decides he can't be asked carrying the briefcase around all year.
off.
That was
actually
how they
pretty funny.
called the title change.
That's actually pretty cool. As I mentioned, on Raw, they confirmed the Shield triple threat match for Battleground. Dean Ambrose basically took the challenge of both because shock horror, they had a double count out. overshadowed on Raw somehow by the fact that Big Johnny was back. People power is in effect. Did you see his fucking suit?
I did see his suit. It's his WrestleMania suit.
No. The fucking bright red tie. Was it the tie?
No, bright red suit, blue
Bright red
tie,
suit, blue tie.
white shoes.
Yep. Fucking Big Johnny.
Team Johnny.
Team Johnny. What a guy. There was a few returns on Raw. Obviously, Big Johnny was the big guy, the most important one.
Yep.
The Wyatts came back, and they're going to have a feud with the New Day about lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But at least it's someone different in
See
the tag
Bray Wyatt
title.
trying to sell when they're making fun of the fact that, all the stuff they can make fun of about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. It seemed like they weren't making fun of Bray Wyatt and they were making fun of Eric Rowan for this promo, at least. So I don't know if they're going to try and protect Bray Wyatt somehow by just having them rip piss out of Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman.
Harper's still injured, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. I haven't seen anything to do with this, so yeah.
And Sasha Banks came back. So
It's better
again,
than
that's
that.
another match that I thought they were keeping for SummerSlam that they seem to be spunking on Battleground.
Yeah. Well, it's the biggest battleground ever. It could be like WrestleMania.
They've got flags in promo and everything.
Yeah, it looked a bit like a sort of Civil War type thing, the Marvel Civil War sort of thing
Yeah.
in that promo, and then they ruined it all by just saying we're going to have the Shield three-way. Because that's how it's going to fucking work. Overall, Money in the Bank.
It was alright.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
was
Actually, I
alright.
would go so far as to say it was good. Yeah, I wouldn't just say it was alright.
If you're watching if I were watching second half, then yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd skip through if someone bought me the DVD, I'd skip through the entire first half.
Yeah.
But it was still good. Like the matches that you wanted to see paid off, which
Yeah.
is the important thing.
Yeah.
Because the other matches just shouldn't have been on there. should they?
No.
Talking about big matches, I wanted to get this in before we finish. Another massive show this weekend was New Japan Dominion,
Yes.
which we've been talking about on the air on and off. We've got our man in Japan from... No, how was I going to say it? Man from Japan, it's Dan. See? Do you like that?
Right.
It was the man on Japan.
Man on Japan,
On-
it's Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on Japan, yeah. Wandering around like Godzilla, crushing it.
For this segment, can we have like turning Japanese playing?
No,
Oh,
No.
okay.
can't afford it.
Oh.
Also, it's
But yeah.
expensive, but there is that.
Oh.
If you go on any of our web pages, I've written the first of a series of articles, what we're going to start doing, which is stuff that we don't really have time to talk about in the podcast. I've done a big article about New Japan Dominion, talking about the big talking points coming out of the show. I'll quickly go through a few bits now. Naito lost the IWGP title to Okada, which was a bit of a shock because you thought Naito was going to have a longer reign. They did the first ever ladder match in New Japan, which was Michael Elgin versus Kenny Omega, which was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that was really good, actually.
Yeah, it was a superb match, and just some of the stuff in it was amazing. It's well worth I think it's £4 to get the New Japan World's worth it for that one match. Shibata versus Nagata was that was my match of the night. I love that. The match I guess you guys will want to talk about most is Will Ospreay challenging Kushida
He
for the
lost.
junior title. Yes, he did.
Will Ospreay lost, Daryl.
I'm not asked about Japan, to be honest.
Leave him alone, he's good.
All right.
The shame about the match as well is it wasn't up to the standard of their previous battle.
Because it's a shit arse.
There was it really felt weird because the first match they gelled so well together, whereas this one it didn't quite click.
I think part of the issue can always be like trying to replicate the success of the first
Yeah.
match, though, can't it?
Yeah, and
It's just I'm a bit disappointed that he didn't win the title this time, and I know a lot of people are as well. But he's got a bright future.
it did seem like the right time for Kushida to lose because he's pretty much cleared out the division. I know a few people beat him in the Best of the Super Juniors, so they can claim stake to being contenders. But he's pretty much beat everybody, and it seemed like a good time to get a new champion and really put Will Ospreay over. But there'll be a plan in place for him, and we'll just have to see what it is.
Certainly hope so. Right. Well, on that note,
I
go
know
on.
you're trying to wrap up. Can I just point out that you've written an article about stuff that we don't have time to talk about, but we do take the time to talk about
Talk about
wrestlers'
in detail.
wrestlers' penises.
Yeah,
No, Daryl.
We don't get to talk
We
about-
don't take the time to talk about. You take the time, and we literally have no choice.
The reason we don't get time to talk about these things in detail is because wrestlers' penises get brought up. And we've actually gone an hour without talking about a wrestler's penis.
I know, that's why I was getting a bit on edge. I thought I'd better bring it up.
Any more catchphrases you want to get in before the end?
If you want some, come get some. If you're not down with that, I've got 2 words for you.
What words?
Suck it.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thanks very much for listening again. Okay, don't forget to go to facebook.com/Royal Grumble if you want to get in touch with us, or you can also email us at royalgrumblepod@gmail.com. Our website is royalgrumble.weebly.com, or you can find us on royalgrumble.podbean.com or on iTunes. We are done. I got them all. Twitter's Royal Grumble Pod. That's what I said. You've got to listen for these things, mate. You've got to pay
Did you
attention.
give out our Pinterest?
Yeah, I tell you what, look for us on Pinterest. See if you can find us. Say goodbye, Daryl.
Goodbye, Daryl.
Say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye.
See you later.